The 2022 tour comes to a conclusion here at the AVP Pro Series Central Florida Open on the shores of Lake Harris here in Tavares, Florida. We're at Hickory Point Recreation Park, and the action's starting to heat up. We have men's quarterfinal action here on Stadium Court. And for the introduction of the players, let's go down to the sand to Mark Sherman.
How we doing at home? How we doing in there? I see you up there, and I'm glad you were watching professional volleyball in December. What an absolutely gorgeous summer day we've got here in Tavares on December 3rd. It is amazing. How we feeling out there? Are we good? We get out there? Yes, wearing the short sleeves, the shorts. Oh my gosh, I love it. This is so nice. This is so good. We have got some spectacular volleyball to show you. Follow me. Follow me. Let me introduce you to these first two gentlemen that went 2-0 yesterday. They are crowd favorites. They are so much fun to watch. This guy, the only time he's not wearing headphones is when he's out here on the court. I like it. He's got a vibe, ladies and gentlemen. We like that vibe. Let me hear it representing Palm Coast VB. He is Dave Palm. And his partner, man, he just does these little tricks, these little things with his hands, with his feet, with his chest, with his head, whatever works, everybody. He has got all those little skills that you just dream about having. Out of Guaynabo, Puerto Rico, let me hear it for Rafu. A spectacular 2022 this team is having, and they are looking for a big, big finish. This guy, his breakout season out of Manhattan Beach, California. He's just a kid, everybody, but he's got a long career ahead of him. Let me hear it for Timmy Brewster. And his partner repping Miami this weekend, all the way up here in Tavares, Florida. He, I'm very happy to say, is my friend, everybody. He is your friend. If he's not already, he is now. He's everybody's friend. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Kyle Friend.
Well, there you have it. We are all set, ready to go. Number 5, Timothy Brewster and Kyle Friend versus number 8, Dave Palm and Roberto Rodriguez. I am Dane Blanton. My broadcast partner is Olympic gold medalist Rich Lamborn, and we're calling the action here. This is a big one, Rich, here. The winner of this moving on to the semifinal.
Yeah, big opportunity for both of these teams, and both teams playing extremely well. Kyle and Tim all season playing great.
There's a little poke shot by Brewster. Brewster and Friend really on the rise, the number 5 team in this one. And there's a good look at Brewster, a southpaw lefty, very lethal up at the net.
Huge stuff from Kyle right there, and you know, that's something to look for out of Kyle Friend. He's not big in stature. He's probably a 6'3", 6'4" guy, but so technically sound and sees the game so well.
Beautiful dig right there from Brewster. It goes over the net, though. It's going to give Palm an opportunity. And what a cut shot by Palm. Palm definitely has control of that ball.
Sliced that thin. Broke out the katana in synchronicity with his headband.
Serve over to Brewster out of the middle of the court where he likes to attack and gives them all sorts of different angles. You know, as a coach, Rich, do you like your players out at the pin or attacking in the middle, or is it a variation of both?
Well, you want to have some variance to your offense, right? Because out of the middle, you sort of instinctively think that gives you more angles, but those angles aren't quite as sharp as well, right? So if you're facing a big blocker, it can be a little problematic, especially if you're a little undersized like Timmy B is. But if you mix that in with some good sets out to the pin, keeps the blockers off guard, keeps the defense off guard, and gives you some more options.
How about that right there? David Palm right there up on a huge cross-court stuff block.
The Kong variety.
Little Kong block a la Randy Stokos. The one-hand press over.
Yeah, so you see Kyle and Tim going with the little variety early, right? We saw Tim get blocked on the step into the middle, so he stays out wide this time, gets the side out. And that's always important, is to not let the blocker get comfortable in his setup against you.
Nice line shot right there by Rafa, right down the line. He's a bit of a surgeon out there, very accurate with his shots.
Surgeon's a great descriptor right there. I was going to say, you know, if you're an up-and-coming beach volleyball player and you value technical proficiency, Rafa, a great guy to watch, because nobody's got a better arm swing than that guy.
Come on. Tim, let's go. Line.
Here comes Friend trying to put it away down the middle, but Rafu down the line again for the point. You give him too many opportunities, he's gonna make you pay.
Well, and I mean, just that's something to look out for in this match, is ball control from all four of these players. Rafu got the knuckle dig. Dave Palm with a wonderful set to his partner out to the pin over his shoulder, and Rafu putting it away.
Line.
How about that? Palm up and over, pressing, perfect timing right there. And they're off to a fantastic start.
And he's kind of sneaky big on the block too. Not the tallest guy out there, tallest guy on this court out of this foursome, but he can really impose his will at the net, as we've seen a couple times already early here.
How about that? What a set from Brewster. Back set from about 15, 20 feet off the net. Puts that one right on the spot.
Yeah, and K. Friend, sneaky physical. You could see the trajectory he got on that ball.
And there's Rafu blasting the ball across court right there. You know, on that last play, Rich, Palm was at the net, took off before he saw the set from Brewster. A costly move.
Yeah, that's kind of something, you know, that used to be almost a certainty. If it's a bad pass, you can kind of pull off and get ready to play defense, but people so good at setting the ball these days, you really have to wait and see that set before you make your decision up there at the net.
So we're 7-6, Palm and Rodriguez up by 1 over Brewster and Friend. First set, quarterfinal action, Stadium Court. Rips it down the middle, but just long as we take the turn. Switch sides on increments of 7. Each team gets 1 timeout per set. We'll also take a stoppage at the culmination of 21 points for the technical timeout. Perfect weather here in Tavares, Florida, for the final AVP event of 2022. Oh, big opportunity there by Palm.
Yeah, just kind of missed the mark. Rafu dug it right up into his wheelhouse, but kind of that spin caused him a little bit of trouble, and he was unable to get over the net with that.
Nice serve by Friend. Beautiful touch. He's going to have a swing. Not just yet. Here comes Palm on the offensive end and putting it in the deep corner. Nice little rainbow shot.
Yeah, and that's kind of set up by his earlier Ginsu thin cut shot, right? You could see Timmy B breaking for it a little bit. Dave Palm goes up over into the corner very nicely.
Nice curving short serve to Brewster. And sharp angle by Brewster, dug, but out of bounds. So make it 9-8, Palm and Rodriguez.
Yeah, I love this defensive move from Rafu. Just slide, gets the one paddle out, but a little too much pop on that from Brewster.
Angle.
There's Palm going inside out, trying to slice it down the line, just out of bounds by a few inches, and we're all tied up at 9. Oh, and right back cross court over. Deep shot rainbow. 2 in a row, huh, Rich?
Yeah, I mean, just unbelievable shots. But as a coach yourself, Dane, this is something I harp on a lot. They scored one off the mistake from Dave Palm, then they go right to his partner, Rafu, for the side out. Is that an error on the side of Brewster and Fred?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I always like to make people work out of a tough situation. If you erred and you're in trouble, I'm going to give you another opportunity to do the same thing. I'm not going to let you off the hook and give it to your partner.
That's why I like you, Dan.
You block it. Down.
Here comes Brewster, and he goes a little inside out down the line, and that brings us to the technical timeout. Brewster and Friend up 11-10 here on Stadium Court. Take a look at the men's seeds. Brunner and Schalk have been eliminated. And there you see some interesting teams in this one, Rich. Your boys, we got Taylor Crabb playing with Dahlhauser, Bourne reuniting with Hayden. I liked the team of Budinger and Pretty, but did not fare too well. And then the list goes on. Let's talk a little bit about Taylor Crabb and Phil Dahlhauser, the number 2 seed at the bottom of that bracket.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Christmas present all beach volleyball fans in the United States have been waiting for, right? Everyone always speculated about how that team would be, and we're getting to find out in real time here in Florida.
And it's interesting, being December, obviously everybody taking some time off, and it'll be interesting to see their endurance, how sharp they are. And you would know best. Is Taylor Crabb taking a little hiatus, or has he been training hard straight through?
Well, yeah, he and Taylor Sander played in the AVP Huntington not too long ago. Played in a couple international events in Dubai and also in Cape Town. So he's been on his game still. It's probably, slightly less than mid-season form, we would say, but the adage that T. Krabs loves is you stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right? Certainly we would expect that out of him here in Florida.
And then, of course, this is somewhat of a local event for Big Phil Dahlhauser. Where would you say he's at in terms of this year in 2022? He came out absolutely on fire. How do you expect him to end it?
A motivated Phil Dahlhauser is a danger to anyone across the net from him, I think, and Phil, in my opinion, the greatest to ever do it. And as such, even if he's a, 70%, hypothetically speaking, that's better than 100% of most players to ever step foot on the sand, I think. So it bodes well for that team, on paper anyways.
Yeah, anytime Phil's motivated, you're absolutely right. And playing with a new partner, a partner that a lot of fans across the world would love to see. And I think that will allow him to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, Krabby, he always has an ability to bring the best out of whoever is on the same side of the net as he is, and certainly I expect that this weekend as well.
Here comes Brewster, and he puts it away cross court. Brewster Friend up 14-12. Set number 1 over Palm and Rodriguez.
they've just been smooth and steady, haven't they? Beneficiaries of a couple of hitting mistakes from Palm and Rodriguez, and then otherwise just pretty clean on their side of the net.
Wow, what a serve right there. A rip. Crossbody down the line by Kyle Friend, unable to return. This time down the middle and out of bounds. 15-13.
You don't love to see the ace followed up by the error,
but you'll take it, right? You'll take it.
You'll take the freebie, yeah.
So interesting with rally scoring. Basically, it's a hidden time clock, I guess you'd say, where you're only going to have so many opportunities to score, so you better capitalize on them, just as Palm does right there, hitting that ball to the deep court.
Yeah, well done staying aggressive there, Dave Palm. That was an interesting, we talk a lot about the proliferation of the on-two play, and I think Kyle tricked Tim there with the jump set. Even Timmy thought he was going over on two with that one.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I think as the game's evolved, having that opportunity and then really faking the blocker out when you don't use it, but you actually jump, has really been a facet of the game that is starting to get kind of perfected by a lot of players across the world.
Yeah, it requires a lot of training. However, if you just try and arbitrarily throw in jump sets and so forth, it can come back to bite you at times. But we start to see teams like the Swedish jump setting team who train it so diligently and so rigorous. It's they're really at the forefront of the evolution of the game of beach volleyball, I would say.
We got a battle going on court one. Mayweather and Plummer 9, Queckel and Zaka 7 in the third set here. You see in the second set, Queckel and Zaka winning 26-24, and we'd love to see battles like this coming down to the wire. So many great teams, Rich. It just really comes down to who can be more consistent when it counts.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, the later you get into tournaments, there's not a disparity in talent or ability level, right? So then it just becomes an execution issue.
Speaking of execution, Brewster and Friend have been executing here on center court with a slim 2-point lead. And make it 3. Kyle Friend, what makes him so sneaky up at the net? I mean, he doesn't seem like he's the tallest player. He is listed at 6'5", but his technique is sound.
So good. So you could see it there. That was a great glimpse on the replay. He gets good depth, so he's out of the line of sight of the attacker, in this case Dave Palm, and then he's just so diligent, so disciplined, I should say, with his handwork, reaching into the line, shaping his hands back into the court, getting rewarded.
And has Kyle always been the blocker up at the net, or does he like to play that defense position as well?
Well, he's an interesting one because he's got such a well-rounded skill set. He can really do it all. So he's kind of that jack of all trades. And the unfortunate thing for him historically has been, it's been hard to sort of find the one partner that complements him perfectly. You know what I mean? So he's kind of been in that middle group of players, but really finding a nice dynamic this season with Tim Brewster as a blocker. He would come to USA practices as almost a fill-in player, and almost every time he was there, he would win the practice on the stat sheet, which is insane to think about, but that's just a testament to what a great volleyball player he is.
And Brewster right there with a perfect pass, giving the opportunity of Friend to put this one away, and he beats the block to the position and just snaps this down before Palm can get his hands up and over the net.
Yeah, talked about Rafu's technical proficiency a little bit earlier. Kyle Friend, another guy to watch if you like technical volleyball, technically beautiful volleyball.
Palm with a cagey shot, defense on the heels as he drops it right in front.
Yeah, that's not what you're expecting. That is a very cagey shot from Palm. Looked like he just had to slap it over, but he goes with the sharp cut shot.
Here comes Dave Palm, goes over to Brewster, and then on the second contact again, Friend is successful.
That's a difficult opportunity. High spinny pass, not necessarily right on top of the tape. Friend stays aggressive with it and gets the point.
So Brewster and Friend looking at set point here, up 20-17 over Palm and Rodriguez. Here comes Palm, goes high off the block of Kyle Friend to make it 20-18 now. Brewster and Friend will receive serve where they'll have the advantage to try to get to 21 to win this first set. Set point number 2. Here comes Tim Brewster and rips that one cross court with authority. The confident Tim Brewster and Kyle Friend on fire in this one. Get out of the gates quick, winning 21-18. One more, and they'll be headed to the semifinals. We'll be right back.
The AVP is brought to you by Waikea Hawaiian Volcanic Water. Sustainably sourced and naturally alkaline. Live aloha. Drink Waikea. By Fabletics. Premium performance apparel that won't break the bank. By White Claw Hard Seltzer. And by Clean Skin. High performance sunscreen and skincare products for the outdoor lifestyle.
Those radio gym shorts that you have from college, they're done. Get them out of here. It's time to upgrade your short game with the one from Fabletics, man.
We love them. Your girlfriend will be stealing these. They're the best.
This fabric fixes another major issue, fit.
It's got this crazy stretch to it that looks so cute when I do my yoga or errands or like literally anything. They're the most comfortable, best feeling Luxe-tastic fabric that we have ever worn.
I'm Carrie Walsh Jennings. I've played with lots of injuries and sore muscles. KT Tape has helped me push past the pain. Today, clinical studies prove what I've always known, that using KT Tape before, during, and after workouts can reduce muscle soreness. Whether it's the Olympics or the local gym, pain is pain.
Tape up with KT Tape, the #1 kinesiology tape. Use it for muscle soreness and many common injuries. KT Tape, train longer, finish stronger.
KT Tape works for me, it'll work for you.
Dear Mainland, aloha. My brother and I hear lots of you have discovered a real Hawaiian favorite, Big Wave Golden Ale. That's the good kind of stuff, yeah, bro. Maybe it's the island flavor that makes each sip taste like a little vacation.
Got your beers here.
That's a whole lot of little vacations right there, huh, brother? That's like a big vacation. retirement. One life, right? Mahalo. Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
Welcome back to the AVP Pro Series Central Florida Open. Take a look at the stats from set number 1. Rich, anything jumping off the page?
Well, there's a little bit of disparity, obviously, in the hitting percentage. Brewster and Friend, 130 points in front. I think they were just a little bit more steady. We talked about them being the beneficiaries of a couple mistakes from Palm and Rodriguez, but also a couple good blocks and just a good consistent play on the side of Friend and Brewster.
Friend and Brewster controlling that first set. It seemed like they had a 2 to 3 point lead the entire time, never relinquished it. With plays like this, nice control, putting the ball where they want. There's a good look at Kyle Friend, played his college ball at Long Beach State, then went on to play professionally in Switzerland and Sweden and Germany indoor, and his beach game continues to improve. What an up by Brewster, but it's just out of the banners. You don't want to go for those. Those boards are very unforgiving.
Indeed. They're beautiful signage for us fans to look at, but you don't want to test them with your knees or your elbows.
Palm serving cross court to Brewster. Brewster coming in, loves that sharp angle, and so they take away the sharp angle. Very smart, making him go down the line, and he makes an error.
Just overcooks that one a little bit.
So good start here by Palm and Rodriguez. Up 3-1, make it 3-2 after the errant serve into the bottom of the net. Friend with a deep middle serve, and Palm tries that little short cutty that we saw early on in this one, but misses it this time.
Yeah, just a little indecisive there. Maybe thought of doing that at the last second and just a split second too late, perhaps.
Nice little tomahawk, and then spells the line shot and then cuts it at the last moment. Some great movement and footwork by Friend on that one.
Yeah, just a really nice look at the ball control going on the side of Friend and Brewster. The side tomahawk, perfect dig from K. Friend.
Brewster goes over to Rafu. Beautiful dig. He's gonna go down the line, and you can just tell the momentum, the enthusiasm has been all on the side of Brewster and Friend.
And again, have a look at this set right here. Some impressive wrist mobility to be facing the net, pull that thing out of the net. Set of beauty.
Must have been a touch on that one, because Friend goes over, and now Palm goes for the deep corner right there. Great ball control. Make it 5-4. There's a look at Rafu Rodriguez. Won his first event with Ed Ratledge in San Francisco 2018, and then he and Palm have won a couple of events this year on the Tour Series on the AVP. So they've had quite a 2022.
Indeed. Yeah, Rafu almost wishes, there was a little bit more wind, I think, perhaps. He currently resides in Florida, comes from Puerto Rico, of course, and has one of the best serves on tour, but needs a little bit of that wind to really make it pop a little bit.
Brewster everywhere. Court over on one, and Rafu, perfect shot. He saw it and he executed.
And that was a great end zone look at that too. We could see exactly what he was seeing, right? Just patient in the angle, saw the open court, gave it the dive lunge over on one for the winner.
Palm's gonna whip up a jump serve that ends up a couple feet long. I'd like to see probably, and Rich, I'd love to know what you think if Palm and Rodriguez need to turn up the service pressure a little bit.
I would agree with you there. You know, they've got to take a little bit of risk because Friend and Brewster just seem like they're a little too comfortable in their side-out game right now, right? You got to disrupt your opponent's comfort level one way or another, whether that's serving some different locations, taking a little extra risk from the end line, as you mentioned. Got to mix something up.
There's a tough serve right there, but it's warded off right there by the option play by Friend, which has been so successful in this one. Brewster's 25th AVP tournament, 10th partner. Friend in his 33rd tournament. He's had 7 different partners. And that, you know, that's what you get in the middle of the pack, Rich, is people trying to figure out a combination that will work for them. Therefore, you see a lot of different partner changes.
Yeah, there is a lot of shuffling going on. Beach volleyball promiscuity, if you will.
Olympic indoor gold right there. Look at number 6, our very own Rich Lamborn right there. He's only played in 2 AVP events, but we're talking about that nice gold medal that he got from the 2008 game.
It's interesting because I don't remember playing a second tournament. I guess maybe we're counting qualifiers. I remember making the main draw of Seal Beach in 2000 and promptly losing 2 matches and going home.
Who are you playing with, Rich?
I was playing with a guy named John Bronstein. Our first match was against Canyon Seaman and Mike Whitmarsh, which we lost. And then I played some guys you played against in college a lot, I think. Matt Unger, Matt Lyles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are some cagey players right there. Crazy ball control and scrappy players.
Yeah, windy Seal Beach. You know, we played Unger and Lyles, and I think there was so much wind it went, 5-0, 5-5, 10-5, 10-10, 15-10. We lost it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Seal Beach gets so windy. A lot of places get windy in the afternoon, but when it's so windy that the good side's winning 5 in a row, and then the other team switches to the good side, catches up 5-all. That makes every point crucial. If you can just win 1 on the bad side, you're in good shape. But definitely not having that problem here today in Tavares, Florida. It's still in really great conditions.
Uncharacteristic ball control mistake from Brewster and Friend, and Dave Palm cleans that up nicely to give his team a lead.
10-9, Palm and Rodriguez. Nice shot. Kyle Friend, so good at disguising when he's going to shoot or when he's going to hit.
Yeah, he gets a good aggressive approach, right? Gets his arms moving, gets that arm lift, and then he can have all the options. In this case, the little slap down the line.
So 1 point away from the technical timeout. They go to Rafu. Deep corner. Brewster somehow gets that ball controlled, and what a set by Friend, and they put it away to take the 11-10 lead. And it seems like all the enthusiasm, all the confidence is on the side of Brewster and Friend.
Yeah, I mean, that's just an unbelievable layout dig, as we see right there, to keep that in the court. Kyle gives him perfection in transition. And again, I think Dave's got to stay at the net a little bit longer and expect those good sets, because we're seeing it consistently out of Brewster and Friend. You don't want to give them open nets, free swings and points.
Brewster, Friend looking like some great chemistry between the two of them, but this team right here, Palm and Rodriguez, as I mentioned earlier, won a couple events on the Tour Series on the AVP here in 2022. Rafu, he won an AVP back in 2018 in San Francisco, so a lot of experience on their side, and they would love to turn this thing around.
And here we go. Let us know who you're rooting for right now.
Yeah, they're right there. You know, as we've kind of talked about it, it's just a matter of execution. You know, a couple loose points on their side, you know, perhaps a little bit more engagement defensively when Kyle and Tim dig the ball, and they're right there.
81 degrees, 45% humidity, and then you see that 3-mile-an-hour breeze, we'll call it. You can't really call that wind. So some perfect conditions, and there's Palm with a little heat right there. You know, he's a physical player, Rich, but he doesn't break out this heat very often.
Yeah, and that play right there would leave you asking why, because that was very impressive. Up big, hammering the angle.
Beautiful offense right there by Brewster and Friend, and a little quick step out behind by Brewster and a quick arm. Rafu almost got that up. Was that legal, Rich?
I'm not sure what we're giggling about there. Thought it was fair play for a second, but I might have misseen what was going on.
He kind of scooped the ball up with two hands. It looked like a lift, but ball had a lot of heat on it.
Come on. Move. Line. Yes, sir!
How about that? Brewster is just everywhere in the backcourt.
Well, he does such a nice job, doesn't he? Let's take a look here. He's balanced at the moment of contact, right? He's not leaning one way or another, because Rafu, as we've seen in this match, can dice you up with some great shots, especially those deep shots. But Timmy just puts himself in position to be able to run down anything that comes his way.
Wow, Brewster is all over it and deep court, and is just out of bounds. But you're absolutely right. I want to touch on that point, Ridge. He is still and he is balanced at the point of contact. One of the most difficult things to teach any defender.
Yeah, there's a lot of times in beach volleyball, you know, like indoor, obviously that's a concept. You want to be stopped the moment of contact, and it's a little more cut and dried. You know, out on the beach, you can be moving a little bit because you've got some plays that you're executing and so forth. But on those scramble type situations, when your opponent isn't in perfect pass set hit offense, you just got to be balanced so that you can go after whatever comes your way.
Brewster Friend up 14-12 after the missed serve by Palm and Rodriguez. And that's what happens when you're aggressive, and I think that aggressive game's being won by Brewster and Friend.
Yeah, certainly they're staying on the throttle.
Another tough serve right out of the middle, and it's open pass. Here comes Brewster, rockets it. Oh, wow. And Palm and Rafu end up on top of each other in the backcourt, both groveling, but that's a tough loss rally.
Yeah, I mean, this is an amazing play right here. Dave actually just puts up an unbelievable set got just ever so slightly tight, and then, quite frankly, a lucky touch from Tim to place that perfectly between the two in the backcourt for the point. Bit of a bad break, unfortunately, for Dave and Rafu.
Yeah, and just like that, 4-point lead and just 5 points away from moving into the semifinals tomorrow. And it's so nice, right, Rich? A 3-day event, 16 teams in those 3 days. And so it makes for a light Saturday. If you can win that quarterfinal game, you're sitting pretty.
Yeah, it's so interesting how it shakes out, because you end up only playing one if you keep winning.
Take a look at court number 1, Rice and Wopat versus Quiggle and Skirmerhorn. It's 5-all. It is the first set.
Yeah, that's Carly, my fitness hero, Wopat.
Yeah, and Carly Wopat had played a few years ago, took a bit of a hiatus, and I believe now she's a firefighter up in the Santa Barbara area, and now back on tour to many fans' delight. Love to see her compete.
Hey, let's go. Come on.
A little
She brings a
trickler
pretty
right there.
Physicality to the game.
Yeah, definitely getting after it in the weight room for sure for Carly Wopat. Played her college ball at Stanford. Back here on Stadium Court, Brewster and Friend up 16-12 as we come out of the timeout. Just 5 points away. It's been all Brewster Friend. Anything that Palm and Rafu can do to change their fate at this point, Rich?
No, I think you mentioned something earlier that I would agree with still, which is they've got to get after it from the end line a little bit, especially at this juncture. You know, their backs are against the wall. The finish line is in sight for Brewster and Friend. So realistically, Rafu and Dave have to press just a little bit. Kyle and Tim have been too comfortable in their offense, so you got to try something to disrupt that level of comfort on the side of Brewster and Friend.
See if they can make it happen here. Here comes Palm, rips one right down the middle. And Brewster with yet another side out. He has been an absolute machine.
Yeah, but you know, that's good service pressure from Palm. He got a less than perfect pass. Brewster and Friend just control the ball so well, they're able to get out of it with the side out, but that's all you can do on the side of Rodriguez and Palm.
Yeah, maybe one too many times for Rafu trying to go to that deep corner. Does not fool Brewster that time, and now they're in complete control.
Well, that's just a look at an excellent defensive player in Tim Brewster, you know, making the adjustments necessary.
Talk about making it look easy right there. Brewster with a one-handed dig. Friend with a beautiful set.
And coming up with some pop from 2-3 meters off the net.
Nice little shot by Rafu, but might be a little bit too late for the comeback. Brewster and Friend playing with all sorts of confidence, and you got to think this is going to be a scary team in contention tomorrow after, like you said, one day, one match today, a lot of rest, and could be ready to go.
Just play that time from Rafu and Dave.
Rafu trying to manufacture some type of momentum on their side, but they just haven't been able to put the pressure from the service line. See if he'll go for it here. Tough serve, back set, and Friend really making it easy on the side out.
Yeah, that's a good serve, but just, I mean, a perfect pass from Kyle Friend.
So we're looking at match point for Brewster and Friend. Point here, win this match and advance them to the semifinals. Here comes Palm, right side, blocked by Friend. Rafu is going to have an opportunity, and he squeaks it through and down the line for the point, 16-20.
That's such a good shot from Rafu. More than likely, it's going to be too little too late in this match, but I really do enjoy watching all four of these guys play.
Another back set by Friend. Cut shot. Rafu plays it in the net on purpose. And can't figure that one out. So Brewster and Friend get to 21 and win the match. They will be advancing to the semifinals tomorrow.
Yeah, that was just an exercise in technical precision from Friend and Brewster. Just a wonderful match and a really good glimpse at what makes them such a formidable team and what has led to such a good season from the two of them.
Yeah, it was all Brewster and Friend from the beginning. Beautiful hits. Very consistent play at the net by Friend, and in the backcourt, Brewster was doing his thing. But what we talked about, Rich, it was that service pressure from the end line.
Yeah, I would think that they won that serve and pass battle, so to speak, right? Able to apply a little bit more pressure with their serve and fight off pressure a little bit better on their side. Still alive, though, are Dave and Rafu, and I wouldn't think that that's a team that you love to see across the net from if you're in the contenders bracket.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Instead of having a rest the rest of the day, Rafu and Palm will go to work in the contenders bracket and try to dig themselves out of this hole. But they are playing really good volleyball as we take a look at the stats, Rich.
Yeah, again, just a little bit of a hitting percentage advantage for Brewster and Friend, but other than that, very little separated those two. Just an execution win for Brewster and Friend.
Well, there you have it. Brewster and Friend winning in just about every category, and they will move on to the semifinal. For Rich Lamborn, I'm Dane Blanton. We'll see you soon.